Okay, you all, let's get into this live stream. Let me make some adjustments to my microphones, um, my Instagram platform as well. So let me adjust that mic. And on YouTube, Facebook, right? YouTube, Facebook, and Periscope, let me know how the sound is on there as well. We're going to discuss some things. Hey, Gwen, I'm out of my car, right? Out of my car now. So let me adjust this mic on Instagram. Out of my car for the people. Hello, everyone coming in. Right, hello. Notification on point. Good deal, good deal. Let me play some music on. Let me see if I can find something real quick to put on. It's not as loud. Okay, thank you. The sound is good. And let me play this real quick and cut the sound down because whenever I do, it's a little loud. I have to go get a book real quick. So give me 2 minutes. Come in.
Coin doubled in one day a couple of weeks
Come
ago.
in and hit like and hit share.
This year. I'm going to call it a craze,
And
and I don't mean that
for
in a
your
negative
listening
way. How do you think
pleasures,
this all ends?
just put some music on. All right, sound is great. Give me 1 minute. Give me 1 minute. I'll be back Instagram.
You paying taxes, I don't get no fee. Them coins stacking, I got chips on me. I got coin like Mario, pump it, turn up the audio. This that dollar flow, this the shit you just gotta know. You carry them knots, ain't what I prefer to do. Hot spitter, that ain't the currency I'm referring to. I'm talking Bitcoin, getting fast, top, yo, De Niro. Trap, turn your stash spots
Am I
to
live on this?
Monero. If you
Let's
watch
see.
your hustling, homie, your new way to plot games. Take that block change, put it on the blockchain. The Fed, we just laughing at them cause they can't touch it. All this ripple, put a ripple in my central bank budget. Ponzi schemes promising
If I'm not
payouts
live
on
on
your way
Instagram, I
off.
did
We
have
don't
some
with
problems.
big
And
connect. That's that Bernie Madoff. Sucker.
got Dallas, Texas
I got
in.
crypto keys. Investing money just to get more
Hello,
cheese.
Dallas from
You
Florida.
paying
Good.
taxes, I
Sound is
don't get no
good.
fee.
Great.
Them
Sound is
coins
good. Let's get
stacking,
this
I got
party
chips on
started.
me. I got that
Uh,
digital gold. I got that
got the
digital
digital
gold.
gold,
I
right?
got that digital gold. I got that
Bitcoin
digital gold. I
took
got
a
that
little
digital
dip
gold.
today,
I
but
got that
I'm
digital gold.
encouraging
I
you
got that. I got that. I got that. I
to
got that. I
just
got that
know that's
digital
all it
gold.
was, a
You got
little
a
dip,
digital
right?
dash. Nah, I just
So let's
digital
get this
cash.
thing
I want
started.
my shit to the moon. I'm trying to get to the bag. You taking pictures to brag. Trying to buy some land though. Billy D in Star Wars. I'm just trying to land though. Got to try to push this art. How far will this van go? But I'm moving too damn slow. That's why I got that ether flowing. Stillmatic Nas. I just thought I'd get the people knowing. Nah, this ain't no Jay-Z diss. Crypto about to make me rich. Bars, rapping, go be. I'm the Black Satoshi. About to change the whole world. Me and
Crypto
the
about to
homies
make
don't
some
know me.
people rich,
Get your coins up, and once they going up,
right?
no resale. You trying to feed your family's family, you HODL. Hallelujah. Tell Khaled I got crypto keys. Investing money just to get more cheese. You paying taxes, I don't get no fee.
Make sure y'all hit the
Coin
thumbs
stacking,
up.
I
Let's
got
invite
chips
more
on
people
me.
in. I only
I
see
got that
5 at
digital
this point.
gold. I got that
So for the
digital
people that's
gold.
coming
I got
in,
that
hit the
digital
thumbs up.
gold.
Let's
I
invite
got
some
that
more
digital
people
gold.
in
I got
to
that
Credit
digital
and
gold.
Cash Flow
I got
Room.
that digital gold.
Yes, for a
I got
lot of
that. I got that. I
people,
got that. I
hello
got that.
from
I got
South
that digital
Carolina,
gold.
right? Hello from South Carolina. So for a lot of people, great buying opportunity with Bitcoin. And let me tell you who the number one buying opportunity was Square app, right? They bought yet another. This is not their first investment, right? Another 170 million. So let's look at Bitcoin real quick, right? Let's look at its price right now. And you know, when the price dipped this way, right? It's just to get the retail investors out. What do I mean by retail investors, right? Everyday people, right? Everyday people, people not in corporations and big marketplace. And so it was at 49,000, right? But if you know, just a couple of days ago, it was at 56, 57, right? So $8,000 dip. And honestly, on the 26th, it may take another dip because of the CME market, right? CME. Okay, Mr. Walker says he put 1K in Bitcoin, 1K in Ether. Yes, Ether was at a little over 2,000. Also, I mean, just buying opportunities. And so when I say that they want retail investors out, right, people don't get it. You know, people ask me all the time, right? Queen, should I take out my gains, right? Um, they don't look at Bitcoin the way it's supposed to be viewed, which is as an asset. Is not about the capital gains when it comes to Bitcoin, people. It's about the quantity. How many do you own, right? Because you're converting it back to a depreciating dollar that since 1974 has lost 98% of its purchasing power, right? And so if you are not able to play that game to hold this asset till it reaches $1 million mark that is predicted to meet, then maybe you should trade another cryptocurrency. Now I know that Bitcoin, like we said, a $7,000-8,000 dip, right? If somebody can afford to put, 45,000 or 50,000 or just a couple of hundreds or a couple of thousands, they can get thousands in return. But I'm going to show you why Bitcoin is an asset and why if I was in position, I will be more concerned about the number of coins of Bitcoin that I have and not its fluctuating, not trading or exchanging it out for the dollar, right? Now, also my second caption is debt Jubilee, the cancellation of debt. I'm going to briefly go over this. I've been reading this book all day for the last 2 days, reading, rereading. And guess what? All of the time and knowledge I put into this, I decided to go live stream and share it with you. This is why I say people should appreciate knowledge, information, and instructions when I decide to go live, or anybody that you follow that's teaching and giving you education, because I've had this book for over a year. I've read it, right? But I decided to revisit it between the last 2 days. And I'm sharing this information with you, and you didn't have to put in any of your time to even purchase the book, any of your time to research it, and definitely any of your mental energy to get an understanding, because I decided to just share my readings with you. So, I believe in reciprocity, right? If someone is giving you something, reciprocity, in order for you to have the best intake of knowledge from it, right? That you should do whatever you can to invest in that person, whether it's just showing appreciation, hitting the like button, right? Hitting the like button is this very first thing everybody can do, right? Take out time to at least do that, whether you are watching live or on the replay, or if you want to give a super chat or a cash app, that's fine as well, right? That's how you receive the understanding, right? The Bible says, in all of your getting to get an understanding. Just because someone shares information with you does not mean that you will acquire the understanding if you don't practice the law of giving and receiving, right? You can hear something, but you won't comprehend it. And so hit the like button, people. That's for free. That doesn't cost anything. Let's start with that, right? Let's start with that, right? Reciprocity of hitting the like button. So let's share this ad with you. Square buys another. Gwen is already coming. Thank you, Gwen. Gwen is always giving. I think I'm going to have to tell Gwen to stop giving. She's always giving, right? And I pray that you are seeing this 1,000 times more than what you're giving. I pray that you'll receive an increase in your cash flow, your banking account, your knowledge, your wisdom, your understanding, your peace, right? Your mastermind circle, right? Being around or attracting more people that's on your mental level, spiritual level, financial level, fitness level, right? Whatever level that you're designed to be on, right? The Bible says it only takes two people to agree. So I'm in agreement with you. And Gwen is the forerunner, and Purple. Thank you so much, Queen. Two queens came in. Gwen is always used the forerunner that opened up the gate. And then other people that give, she's the pioneer. So thank you to Gwen and Purple Queen, both of my queens, for the $10 super chat. It is greatly appreciated, and the same prayer and agreement goes to you as well, Purple, as did Gwen. So let's look at this article. Square buys another 170 million Bitcoin, right, ahead of its fourth quarter earnings called Tuesday. The payments announced it had purchased an additional 3,318 Bitcoin as an asset. People, that's that word again, a reserve asset. Now, I'm not your financial advisor. I don't give you financial advice, but it doesn't make financial sense, right? To unless you have financial emergencies, to not have an asset that, no matter if it takes a $9,000 to $10,000 dip, and when it takes these dips, you have big corporation that again wants to get the retail investors out. So if you have 1 to 3 Bitcoins, right, you are definitely in position. You are definitely in position for millionaire status, multimillionaire status, and prosperity. What a lot of people don't understand, that if they own Bitcoin, right, and this is today, this is just released February 23rd, that every time you sell, if you actually own Bitcoin on a wallet, a ledger, right, you have a key to the crypto. I'm not talking about on Cash App, right? I'm not referring to Uphold. I'm not referring to Robinhood. I'm not referring to Voyager. But where you actually have a key to this, right? A public address number in which you can store it, right? Ownership. Every time you sell profits, you lose your quantity, people. It's about quantity, not the capital gains for the long haul, the long term. Right now, you may be cashing out hundreds or thousands, but if you held and own, you can be in the millions, right? So payments to Giant Square said Tuesday they had purchased an additional, again, 170 million in Bitcoin, adding to their stash, right? Just purchased in October. So someone should have looked at the recent price before they went to the press. According to the payments process, the press release, again, added 3,318, $170 million. So doing that math, the results per Bitcoin was about 51,235. So you do have to have up your mindset, right? Get the financial education. For the people that's trading in Forex against Bitcoin, my message to them: do you own any? Right? Do you own any? And so you got these corporations that have corporate boards, right? And Square's $50 million of Bitcoin that they purchased in October, for example, because they held or they hodled, is now worth $253 million. And so Square already has $4.4 million in total cash and securities. So what are they doing? They're taking that cash and converting it into crypto. So that 220 million that they spent on Bitcoin is only 5%, right, of their total liquid assets, but at least they have a percentage of their liquid assets into, or liquidity or cash into Bitcoin. I don't know what your 5% is, right? But if you can get 5% is and then that is of your liquidity or whatever you have in your cash reserves, right? Um, you know, you'll be doing what corporations are doing, right? Maybe on a smaller scale, but you're doing it nonetheless, right? Gwen says, I can't stop giving. I can't receive anything with my hands closed. That's true. I really do appreciate you. Thank you so much, you all. Thank you so much. Um, Mr. Walker said also a ledger, right? Also a ledger. Then we have Sean in. Hello, Sean. Welcome, welcome, welcome. One of my moderators. I'm glad to have you in. And so people need to understand Bitcoin's purpose and Bitcoin's power, right? Bitcoin's purpose and Bitcoin's power. So let's move to the second topic, right? The second topic is Debt Jubilee 2021 from NESARA. Now, I'm saying 2021, right? Maybe towards the end of 2021, but I'm not saying it's just definitely going to happen. From my reading and research, that's what I'm predicting, right? So let's go over the facts of why. And I know some people are so celebratory, like, yes, let's erase my debts, let's eradicate my debts, right? So let's get into this. The IMF, the International Monetary Fund, right, approved this April 13th, 2020, right? So the IMF approved immediate debt relief. And people, this is not just with NESARA. Some people said JSARA because it says globally. This is going to be a global wide debt relief for not just United States, but 25 other countries. So, International Monetary Fund Executive Board announced said, I am pleased to announce our executive board approved immediate debt relief service to 25 of IMF member countries under the IMF revamp, right, release trust as part of the fund's response to help address the impact of this C word pandemic, right? And so um, they can currently provide 500 million grant-based debt service relief, right? So it is saying grant-based. However, the recent 185 million pledged by the UK, then the 100 million by the US, provided by Japan as immediate available resource. I want you to note that it says also provided by Japan, Asia, Asian countries, Japan, China are the powerhouses right now, right? United States is going to look more like that, more than just in Silicon Valley in California. So others, including China and Netherlands, are stepping forward with important contributions. And so let's get into this, right? Let's get into this. The origin of debt jubilee, right, began in the Bible, right? It began in the Bible. And the word jubilee comes from the book of Leviticus in the Bible, in the Hebrew Bible, known in the Christian or Christianity world of the Old Testament, that means Jobel, which means ram's horns. And they curve the horn, they use it as a trumpet to blow the signal or the sign of debt jubilee. Now, this is where Dave Ramsey and I kind of crossroads, right? Crossroads, and is that Dave Ramsey seemed to think that having debt is, I guess, like a sin, right? It's a simple thing to do, a simple act. However, if in Leviticus 25 that there was a cancellation of debt, right, every 25 years, I'm sorry, wrong, 50 years, right? The cancellation of debt was every 50 years, then how could debt be a sin, right? In Leviticus 25, God commanded the house of Israel to observe a year jubilee every 50 years. So the jubilee year, the Bible explains, was for the rest of the year, including forgiveness of our debt, liberation of slaves, and service to their native lands. So if you know anything, I did a live stream today, Tuesday, I think Sunday, about being a straw man, that everyone's birth certificate and social security cards is linked to the dollar, the US dollar, and it is debt. It is debt, and you are a corporate slave to the United States, right? And when you are born, your original birth certificate is sold to Washington. It's sold in Washington, D.C. on the stock exchange, anywhere from $650,000 to $700,000, making you your labor on your job, if that's how you earn your money, taxed at 30 to 40% as an employee, right? Which means you only earn 60 to 70 cents on the dollar. That does include any insurances that you may have coming out of your paycheck. If you are in a state that has state taxes, it does not include that. And it does not include your FICA as well, right? So you have your Social Security, Medicare, then your employer tax, and then your federal tax. There's not including, again, insurances that you may have in place that comes out of your paycheck. So you really bring home 30 to 40 cents on the dollar from your labor. So your labor, right, from the top is paid to the Fed. So your birth certificate, again, is sold. You don't ever have original. You have copies, right, on the stock exchange, just like other commodities. That's why your job, you have issues on the job, you go to human resources, right? HR, because you are the human resource for the United States. I still have some of my paperwork here. That's why you have 8 digits, 8 red digits on the back of your social security card, and 8 numbers, right? Not including the letters on every printed dollar, right? So it's not for Social Security and Medicare payout when you get older. It's your identification numbers. Your Social Security number is your identification numbers, so it can connect your labor to pay taxes to the Fed because you are their cash cow, right? So you are the slave. So 50 years of debt jubilee, Leviticus 25, is to free people from being slaves in their native lands, forgiveness of our debt, right? All outstanding debts biblically between the members of the house of Israel must be wiped clean, right? All people must be returned to their own property, right? So it was common for people that were in debt to forfeit ownership of their land to a creditor source. Now, this is where the tables are going to kind of turn, because I know a lot of people are like, wow, debt jubilee. Yeah, you won't have, per se, credit card debt. You won't have mortgage debt or home equity line of credit or loans or a second mortgage loan. You won't have vehicle debt, right? You won't have student loan debt. But for some people, debt jubilee is going to look like this, right? That their house is going to be foreclosed on for the people that's behind in their housing notes right now. Now, for some people, their mortgage will be cleared, and they're not behind. But for some people, the debt jubilee is going to happen just the opposite way. You don't have mortgage debt, right? But if you're behind on your payments and it's foreclosed, you don't have a house, a home either, right? Your vehicle may be paid off, but what happens when that vehicle depreciates? Because what a debt-based reset, currency reset system will do, it will erase or eradicate, right, all of your debts under the old dollar system, right? In 1971, the dollar became debt because President Nixon removed it from the gold standard. So it was no longer connected or based on real cash, real silver and gold, which is real money by the Constitution. And so when it lost that store value that it was, it just became a debt-based system. And the more that was issued out, right, the less it was able to purchase. Had it stayed connected to the gold standard, prices would have remained low and affordable, right? And less people would have needed the debt-based currency system. So now people have lower income, higher pricing, and now they have to pay taxes unless you have a home-based business, right? You're a slave to the federal government or the government unless you have a home-based business. And also, you have to take out, especially if you have bad credit, loans at additional high interest rates. So you're not even working. You can't even afford nothing for yourself at this point. K Love says IRS debt. Yes, this will include IRS debt. What this will look like is that there will be no more federal banks, right? Um, it will be no more federal banks. Everything will go through central banks. And I'm going to talk about China um, and their moves today with central banks. China is leading everything. So it will not be any more federal banks, no more IRS. What will happen, however, is that all of your digital dollars will be on the blockchain. So your taxes will be automatically traced and automatic. You won't even need H&R Block. You won't need a tax person. All community banks will no longer exist, right? Now your money won't be lost if you have money in a small bank, but you will have to convert it to a larger bank, like probably JP Morgan, Bank of America, Wells Fargo, right? Because they are all connected to the Federal Reserve. But your community banks probably will be done away with. And so the taxes will be kept on the blockchain. All of your transactions with everything you do, taxes won't go away. I'm pretty sure pricing will increase. And this is why people that don't possess actual cryptocurrency, right, their income may be deflated. Now, you won't have debt. But again, for many people, they won't have assets either. And so if the government now digitally distributes a UBI, universal basic income, and you have maybe, let's say, $2,000 monthly, right? If you're unemployed or don't have a job, or if you do have a job and your dollars are digitalized, right? What if through this new system, they decide that they can control, even if you have a job, right? Because now credit cards won't exist. So what if they say they can control what you can and cannot purchase, right? Through this new digital monetary system. What if they say, okay, we have digital wallets now, and now you cannot purchase gold or silver, and you can't, and certain cryptocurrencies won't either be outpriced, right? Like Bitcoin is really outpriced for most middle class, or it won't be available to purchase now like it is. So you don't have a separate cryptocurrency wallet of your own that's not connected. That's what decentralized means. It means no control over a government. A government has no control or a company. No CEO, no making the decisions. So if you don't have your own, maybe way, your wallet of storing your separate cryptocurrency, which when this happened, the cryptocurrency prices will just skyrocket, right? But if you only have a job in digital wallets that the government will have or central banks will have access to, or you do get universal basic income and you don't have debt, but prices escalate, right? And because you don't have a decentralized cryptocurrency investment of your own, which you can make independent moves without the government involvement, then you're still going to be in slavery. You're just going to be a debt-free slave. So I know people are like, oh my God, my 200,000 student loan is gone. I won't have taxes, right? But there still will be things like property taxes in place. And so, and what I'm saying, not have taxes, I mean, yes, your IRS debt currently, right, will be eliminated, but you're still going to be taxed. that won't go away. Prices can still increase. And now they can put stipulations, right? Because when all of these foreclosures, when all these homes and properties goes up for foreclosure, the banks are going to own most of them. Now, Jubilee could also look like that new vehicle you wanted that was, let's say, $25,000. It may be now available for $5,000 or $10,000. There could be signs. There could be, inflation. I mean, deflation, right? However, in the years to come, if we're moving to non-emission electronic vehicles, and now you maybe have your drive life of that vehicle maybe 3 or 5 years, and many of you saying that's fine, right? But now after 3 to 5 years, and the laws have changed against gas vehicles, and you have to purchase electronic, and they may be $50,000, $60,000, $70,000. If you don't have assets, and they have control over you purchasing gold and silver, or not being able to purchase cryptocurrency because all you have now is that cash-based system. For the people that's hoarding cash, that's flipping forex, oh, I got $10,000 off Bitcoin today, but you're putting it into the government's control because you're converting it back to a cash-based system now that's going to be a digital wallet system later on. And yes, when you are receiving direct payments through the Fed, or your money is held in a wallet in which they control, and you don't have anything outside yourself, right? They can tell you what and what not to purchase, especially if they've eradicated your debts. Now, again, debt jubilee for people that have assets outside of control of the central banks, right? They're storing up their crypto right now. It's going to be a great thing, right? But once that digital currency gets here, the central banks are going to have more control over it and what you can purchase and what you can't. And they're going to have control over the pricing, right? The pricing of products, goods, and services. So if you don't have things in place to continuously grow your money, and if you're not obtaining the cryptocurrencies right now that's going to skyrocket, and there's going to be decentralized, free of government control and company control, supposedly, right? Then you're still going to be somewhat. So I guess you said, Queen, that's kind of bittersweet. You gave us great news, but I'm just showing you the both sides of the coins, right? But this will have gold and silver pricing. Physical gold and silver, not ETFs, will skyrocket as a result because this currency that they distribute to people, according to NESARA, right? Because in 1930 they stole or they took forcefully citizens' gold in 1930s, and according to NESARA, that physical gold would either have to be paid back, or they would have to be paid back in a currency that is now back on the gold standard. I don't think any central banks are going to give the physical gold, especially even in the United States. They're not going to give up the real wealth, the real money. However, it still would be legalized for them to pay you in a digital currency that's backed by physical gold and some silver. So I do think that before this distribution happens, that there will be either some cryptocurrencies that's already backed by gold that will be used, or they're going to back. And I don't think Bitcoin is going to be the world reserve currency that you can use globally, but I don't think it won't be the cryptocurrency that you're paid in. And this is why, right? This is why, because Bitcoin has limited supply, right? Bitcoin has a limited supply. And so it has to be a currency, right, that probably has about a a 5% inflation rate, and an unlimited supply, you know. And so, but now this is the other thing, right? Yes, silver prices are about to skyrocket. Look at Gwen. She says, she looked at a video today explaining why silver will about to skyrocket. Now, I'm not suggesting that saying silver will hit $1,000 this year. It might have to first go through the levels, right? May first hit 100 and then, increase thereafter. Gold has already, or did already go. I didn't look at the price of gold today, past 2,000 already. So I could go more into this book, but I won't. I really won't. But this book is explain a lot of things about 9/11. I'll just say this: NESARA, September the 11th, 2001 was supposed to be publicly announced. And so, a lot of the records and the national shift was kept in the World Trade Building, right? And so, I'm just, so the World Trade Centers, I think on the seventh floor, especially broke down that that was the floor that would have been able to initiate the national currency and invoke this act. They have pictures in this book that's actually showing how it was impossible for airplanes to actually crash into these buildings at a high level and break it down all the way to ground level, And it was showing that in order to really break it down at ground level, the airplanes would have had to hit it beneath, yes, building 7, thank you, Minnesota, had to hit it at ground level. And if it would have flew that low to the ground, that the huge jumbo jet engines and all that would have caused damage to the lawn in the yard when flying that low. But that's the only way it could have brought that building down, was it would have to have fly that low and hit it from the bottom to make the whole top escalate. So yeah, and so this act was been signed off on for years, right? So it has to be through digital currency. And this is why 5G was implemented, because of the free energy technology that's going to take to operate this on a global level, right? And the Federal Reserve Bank will be abolished. You heard President Trump talking about getting rid of the feds, and it will be done. And so to that's why I tell people, yes, silver will go up because of 5G and free energy source. However, you have to look at the ramification that it does to the physical body. Do your research on radiation and prepare accordingly, right? Change your diet, change your eating habits, and get free radicals and, things that can help combat the body against radiation. Tourmaline, bees is what I use, and copper and things of that nature. So Sean says there can only be 21 million Bitcoin mined and only 84 million Litecoin. Exactly. So Litecoin is supposed to be Bitcoin's digital silver. Any cryptocurrency that has a limited supply is expected to give high returns and high demands, right? Ethereum is Bitcoin's biggest rival, right? And so now we have XRP, right? Central banks today of China and United Arab join digital currency projects for cross-border payments, people. This is how XRP is going to go into place. For those people who held their XRP, you had a lot of people say XRP is over, it's a joke. I don't think so. So again, this was released today, February 23rd. The Digital Currency Institute, DCI, of the People's Bank of United Arab. Let me make sure I have this big enough. Arab have joined a central bank digital currency project for cross-border payments, currency payments. And this is today, people, right, in China. And so this is through their central banks. The main central bank is located in the UK, right, United Kingdom. When you see the central banks on your, or the Federal Reserve Bank on your money, cash, not money, but your cash currency, the dollar, it is not the main central bank. That's just where that cash was printed from. The main central banks are in UK. You have them everywhere. China, um, and so their central banks have joined for cross-border payments today, right? It will further explore the capability of distributed technology by developing a proof of concept, analyze business cases, cross-border context with both domestic and foreign countries. Now, right now, as of this time, they are operating on Swift, right? Swift is really slow. So if you know the purpose of XRP, it's speedy, it's fast, it's for cross-border payments connecting to central banks. So whenever this lawsuit, right, against Ripple is lifted, you can expect XRP to bridge more central banks. So these are just with Asia and other regions, right, for their infrastructure. I thought XRP and that lawsuit probably will be tied up for maybe 2022. But it would not shock me, right, if by the end of this year or beginning of 2022, everything is lifted from Ripple. XRP is implemented because my earring fell off, because they would definitely have to connect more central banks, including the United States. They're just piling it out now with China. China is leading everything in this. Even their digital yuan, China wants the digital yuan to be the global currency, right? And that won't replace Bitcoin, right? But it will just be accepted if the digital yuan becomes the world reserve currency. I think that the digital yuan is already backed by gold, right? Um, so because China has more gold reserves already, or at this point, than the United States, and they are exporting more things to the United States. We are more dependent on them than what we are importing to China. So they want to be. Let me see if I can pull this article up. The world reserve currency, I think already is accepted in New York, right? And their argument is that, hey, we have more money, we're a wealthier country, and we are, okay, this is another article. We should be the world reserve currency. So I've already shared this with you all. China, this is what I was speaking of, that right now it's on Swift. This was February the 12th, and now February 23rd is already released. So they already connected with Asia. And I think this is going to be a connection. Once it becomes global with XRP, will be that. So for those people holding or that held the XRP, then you're going to be happy when this takes place. And so it's a global based system, cross border payments. And it's just said this is a move that shows China's ambitions to take the digital version of its currency, the yuan, global. So I'm not saying it's going to be the world reserve currency, but it will be global. And if the United States currency has lacked, or when it loses is not if, but when it loses is world reserve status, right? Because all this is going to take is China now to add Russia, right? As far as on that digital currency exchange, China and Russia has already partnership for natural gas in the on $1 billion bill to have a national gas pipeline with that without accepting the US dollar, right? And also Saudi Arabia and oil is no longer accepting the US dollar behind the OPEC. So the US dollar will lose its world reserves status. The United States will have its own digital currency. It's probably going to be the US DT, digital currency. However, other corporations still have to decide what currency, like Amazon, do they want to accept for payments. I do believe that Dogecoin, one of these bigger businesses, will adopt Dogecoin because of its unlimited supply and inflation rate, to be a currency accepted in the United States as well. So, Minnesota says silver heals wounds faster. It's magical. Wow, I didn't know that. Thank you for sharing. Hello from Periscope. We have Ohio in the house from Periscope. Hello. Sean says, you notice they mentioned nothing about the dollar in this article. Right. The dollar would no longer be the reserve currency. That's why I tell people you're stacking it is equivalent to you stacking toilet paper, like the big toilet paper rush. That is, the dollar is going to zero, right? It's going to be the great reset. So stack you some assets, right? Kendrick, I believe the dollar's already doomed, but who knows? No, it is. I agree with you. Hello, Curtis is in, right? Um, yeah, I don't. It's interesting, Sean. I didn't even think about that. He said it's probably no gold right now in Fort Knox, the U.S. Might have leased it all. That's interesting to know, right? One of my followers brought this to my attention about all of the gold under the Twin Towers, right? Um, as well. So it says about, let me share this with you all. And so that's why I teach you all the holistic monetary system, the reason behind the logic behind cryptocurrency. This is not just an investment. This is having control, independent control, right? And where you have no government or supposed to have, right? I think the government is going to influence everything. I think they even have their hands into the crypto um, pricing and, its ups and downs. However, it does give you an opportunity, right? And you can just see if it's going to be true. An opportunity to have some freedom. So this article, September 22nd, tons of gold and silver have been stored underground vaults beneath 4 World Trade Center when the building collapsed September the 11th. According to New York Mercantile Exchange, the Bullion and Metals Division of Bank of Nova Scotia was storing 379,036 ounces of gold and 29 million. Look at it was more silver, 29,942,619 ounces of silver, right? They store more silver than gold. It is owned by people or companies. Wow. So people and companies. So these people may have, I'm pretty sure, have to be repaid. So that's 11.8 tons of gold and 9.35 tons of silver, right? The gold votes were locked. The vaults were locked. September the 10th, the gold was worth 200, and look at gold today, over $2,000. But then in 2001, it was worth $273 per ounce, or 103,211,503, right? And then by September the 21st, its value soared. They increased it from $272 to $292. That took it up from 103 million to 111. I've been saying 111 a lot lately. Silver also rose 10%. And so, yeah, this was all during NESARA, during this announcement, right? And the book discussed too how President Bill Clinton signed this into law. I think it was October. I forgot the year, and I don't know if I have the page, but it was Bill Clinton signed this into law. I think it was October the 20th of 19. I mean not 19, but 2009. So I don't know. I have to, but at the time of the abolishment, Bush was president. So Bush ordered all this to be done. So our debt would be zeroed out from the new currency, people, the new cryptocurrency, and the IRS, right, will be replaced with the national sales tax. Now, according to this book, every American citizen, right, this new money will be refunds will be refunded in the form of debit cards. So it will be some type of, according to this book, cryptocurrency connects to debit cards. And supposedly every American citizen over the age of 21 will receive up to, it's in the book, I'm not quoting this. Now that seems a little far-fetched for me, but if it happens, right? But every American citizen over the age of 21, I don't know how, it doesn't go into detail how they will qualify these people or not, will receive up to 100,000 a month per month, 100K a month for 11 years as compensation for all the evil against them by the American federal empire. And it's saying people will not have to be chipped. It won't be the mark of the beast, right? And that, again, this is from the Stolen Wealth of 1930. And I know this is saying by all people, but I'm reading some more paper. People also know that people in the black and brown community have reparations up on the tax as well. So I do think the government will repay and bankruptcy agreement, but you'll still have a national sales tax. And I think they still will, but it has to be backed by gold, right? It has to be backed by gold. They cannot no longer do the debt-based currency. It's going to have to be backed by gold based currency, which is going to explode, skyrocket the price of gold and silver. Again, physical, not ETF. However, right, it says 100K, everybody over age 21 for 11 years. I don't know, right? I'm sorry, you said Obama. I don't know what year it is. I can't find it in this book, but I know Clinton signed it into. Let me see, can I find it so I can have? Or was it Obama? Signed this into agreement. I don't know. I don't want to take up too much time. I'm getting a little tired because I don't have. Yeah. Okay. I'm sorry. You're right. It was October the 10th, 2000. President Clinton signing the NESARA Act into law. So, yeah, thank you. October the 10th, 2000. And he signed this into law. Clinton did. Obama didn't want to enforce it during his presidency, right? And that's when the Obama Bush administration came in and they said Saudi Arabia, we got the war with Saudi Arabia and been lying. It wasn't about that. That's why a lot of people said 9/11 was an inside job because it was signed into law October 10th, 2000 by Clinton. So only 38 likes. You're right, there's 400 people watching. Come on, you all. You gotta do better than that. But I'm getting ready to sign out. I'm getting my voice is getting tired, right? Um, Janet Yellen saying that crypto has been used for, yeah, exactly. That's to get it out of the retail investors' hand. Again, I shared you how Square about 170 million more Bitcoin today, right? Um, I can 10x your money. All I need is your XSN. Jesus or Sean, make sure you all block this person off my channel, right? Let's see. Make sure, see, can you all block him or her, whoever that demonic person is off the channel for. So, Bobby, I'm signing out, you all. Make sure you get the thumbs up, right? Whether you're watching this live or on the replay, so other people can get the message. So, good evening, everyone. You need the link to order the book. Make sure when you order the book that you fill out all of everything because it'll automatically go back to your email. So, a lot of people are saying or would tell me sometimes that they can't pay through Cash App. It won't allow you, right, to make that payment on Cash App if you haven't filled out that personal information. So let me see if I can walk you through that, what I mean real quick. So this is the website and it's Cash on Crypto, crypto with a K. And so once you stroll down, right, it's add to cart, right, Queen of Crypto. And saying my shopping cart is empty, didn't I just say? Oh, I didn't put the number. I didn't put one in, I don't think. I did put one. Okay. Add to cart. Why is it saying, is something going on my website? I keep saying no products in cart. I need to check this out. Ask me to log in. I shouldn't have to log in. Click here for your report. Let me make sure there's nothing wrong with the website. Okay, there you go. I don't know why I did that. Maybe you all have to, if you had issues with it, instead of selecting add to cart, should click here for copy right at the top of the website, right? So when you're checking out, please put all your billing details, first name, last name, read, your country, street address, all of this, email address. And this email address will be the email address. You can create an account, right, if you want to or not, but it will be the email address that the book will be automatically emailed to, right? And then you can click or scan here. But please fill out all of the billing details, right? Because you have to have your address on file, right? And so you can scan or do that here. You can click on the link and you should be directed to make that purchase. So if you have any problems with that, just let me know. So I'm signing out, you all. That's it. Have a good evening. Wish you all well. Thanks for tuning in. But crypto is the future. Position yourselves accordingly. And if you're going to have your debt eradicated or erased under the NESARA Act, if Jubilee, you want to have access to because there will be a national sale tax and you may not be able to control the pricing of your everyday goods and services. So let's just hope that everyone gets 100K a month for 11 years. I think that's a little far-fetched, but I did not write the book. According to the author, David Robinson says. So if that happens, then surely people won't. But I do believe the debt jubilee will happen. I don't know if that 100K for 11 years for everyone over 21 will happen, but you never know. This is the year of jubilee. In the Bible, in Leviticus, right, it was only for 1 year, right? But this book is saying 11 years, right? If you want to get the like of, just start going to intermission. People will get the picture. Oh, I got you, Bobby. I got you. I understand. You're right. because this is a lot of energy to give this information out, and it takes a lot of my time and research to bring it to you. And that's all I ask for people to do is just hit the like button. So maybe I should go into intermission. You all have a great night.